It's that time of year again, the birthday party, the social setting where my family can chastise me for not being married or having kids. Aside from that, we gather for loving company, heaps of presents, and mountains of food. So, what better movie to review than Bloody Birthday? I mean, seriously, what's the worst that could happen?
Bloody Birthday is about three youths conceived in the turbulent year of 1969, born in 1970 at the beginning of the old American dream, and who come of age during the Great American Conservative Shift. They exhibit sociopathic symptoms with tendencies to believe that their desires are more important than the desires of those who have less power than them. And they believe they are privileged and that violence can terrorize people into submitting to them. The movie boasts names like Lori Lethan and Julie Brown, and some scenes look as if they were deliberate reconstructions of John Carpenter's success. But ultimately, this stinker of a slasher falls far short from greatness in my book. Now remember, I love all of these movies, but as far as the general public goes, you can pass this one up. It's worth about half slash out of 5 on the slasher scale.
Bloody Birthday. Film that I will always confuse with Happy Birthday to Me, no matter what I do. It's a film about three children who were born during an eclipse. Not a normal eclipse, though, an eclipse in which the moon and the sun blocked out Saturn's rays, which turned them into little psychopaths, I guess. Sure. Why not? This film is, I kind of look at it as a remake of Children of the Damned. Sort of the same vibe going on there. I mean, little psychopathic children born under mysterious circumstances. So, there you go. It's a fun little movie. Kind of forgettable. But there's certainly worse things that you could do or watch on a Saturday night. Don't know how plausible that eclipse thing is, though.
What the hell was that? Oh my god! Hi, I'm Captain Cinema. Now you tell me to stay away. This movie's a testimony to something I've always known. Children are bastards! Now, before I get all the hate mail, let me explain that I used to work at an amusement park and have seen firsthand how terrible children and their parents can be. Alright, let me get this over with. Today is Bloody Birthday. The movie opens with the creepy Jack-in-the-Box style music. There's an eclipse, three women go into labor, and now it's 10 years later, and two teenagers make out in a cemetery. Those hopeless romantics. The boyfriend says something so cheesy that even Quagmire would be ashamed of.
You want to play ambulance? What's that? Well, this is the ambulance. And when you want it to stop, you say red light.
The girl wants to go someplace private, so they climb into an open grave. It's here that he's beaten with a shovel and she's garroted. You climbed into an open grave. You only have yourselves to blame. We meet our heroes, Joyce and her little brother Timmy, the red herring. The following day at school, the sheriff talks to the children and asks if any of the children know, because the only piece of evidence they have is a wooden handle of a jump rope. Dun dun dun. Class is dismissed, but three kids, Debbie, Chris, and Blondie? They never say the kid's name. They approach the teacher and request to not get any homework for their birthday. Yeah, good luck with that. The teacher denies them, but to add insult to injury, she condescends them. The three talk about how much they hate their teacher as they go back to Debbie's house, where Debbie charges Curtis and Blondie to watch her older sister Beverly change. Beverly is played by former MTV VJ Julie Brown, who does a nude scene. She's not a real blonde. Things change when Debbie's dad, who's also the sheriff, is concerned with a potential serial killer on the loose. Debbie, outside the house, calls her dad. She raises up the jump rope to show the missing handle. As he goes outside, well, he's set up for a trap, but he kind of avoids it. And then they move on to plan B, and Curtis and Blondie beat him to death and drag him over by the stairs, and then Debbie feigns sorrow. Timmy witnesses all this, and Curtis witnesses Timmy. Well, later that day, the kids are playing at a junkyard. Curtis shows off his new toy, which looks like a real gun. Ah, the good old days. While playing hide and seek, Curtis tricks Timmy into hiding into an old refrigerator, and he locks him in. Timmy eventually MacGyvers himself free and comes back home, where Joyce lectures him. He explains how Curtis locked him up and how he went over to Debbie's house to watch Beverly, but Debbie wasn't home. Joyce tells him not to play with Curtis anymore. Now Curtis goes over to Debbie's house and switches out the fake gun with the real gun. First off, Timmy witnessed the children of the damned corn kill a cop, and he still went over there to play with them. Secondly, Timmy tells Joyce he was almost killed by Curtis, and she's more concerned with his peeping. Priorities. Third, and this is just me spitballing here, what sheriff or anyone in local law enforcement leaves their service weapon unattended? No one. At school, the teacher is still condescending to Debbie. Her dad just died. Never mind that she killed him, but come on! Curtis strikes at school. Blondie fails to kill Joyce. Curtis is pummeled by Timmy. Joyce finds the body of the teacher, but you know what that means. Half day! After school, Timmy goes over to Debbie's. When Joyce gets home, she finds a note that says that he went to the junkyard with Curtis. Joyce goes to get her brother, but Curtis and Blondie hotwire a car and try to run her over. She gets away. Timmy and Joyce worry about being home without Mom and Dad, while a killer is on the loose. Meanwhile, Curtis searches the neighborhood looking for victims, which he finds in two horny teens having sex in an unlocked van. Can't teenagers find a safe place to fornicate in this movie? It's the birthday party, and here at the 47-minute mark that we also learn Blondie's real name. It's Steven. Joyce tells Beverly about the hole. Curtis has a plan to make Joyce look crazy, which actually works. Later that night, Beverly goes through Debbie's room, finding a scrapbook with all the killings. 3 kids end up killing Beverly. Stephen and Curtis clean up the mess, and they dump the body in the garbage. Beverly's funeral proves too much for Debbie's mom, so much that she commits herself. Timmy picks a fight with Curtis and Stephen when Stephen and Curtis catch up to him, and they start strangling him with a garden hose. I give him points for originality on that one. Joyce stops this, and Debbie yells out, "Stop!" to make herself look innocent. Joyce threatens Curtis. Curtis threatens back. Debbie asks Joyce if she would babysit her. Joyce agrees. Are you stupid? The final act takes place when Satan's adolescents rig the house. As Joyce and Timmy come under fire by Curtis, they run through the house, locking themselves in Beverly's room. Arrows come through the peephole, bullets go through the walls. Joyce locks Stephen in a trunk. Curtis tries to shoot Joyce, but is out of bullets. Timmy finally beats the hell out of Curtis. Debbie runs outside where her mom pulls up. She tells her mom to keep her safe. The mom backs out of the driveway, and Curtis and Stephen are arrested. The next day, both boys are released. Meanwhile, Debbie's mom tells her that her name from now on is Beth, and they drive away, revealing another victim. Roll end credits. This movie was bad. Bad music, bad acting, bad plot. Across the board, it was bad. If you come across it, skip it at all costs. I'm off to get my vasectomy. That's just my opinion.